Chumripsur. Welcome and thank you for joining our show, Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This is part of the CNRP America TV shows. My name is Linda Wu. Today is Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. One more month left of 2020. Please join me to support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. We fight to end impunity. Together, we will hold Hun Sen responsible for continuing to kill and hurt Cambodians. Until now, Hun Sen has never found perpetrator responsible for any of the barbaric acts. Hundreds of victims have never received any justice. Together, we say ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Please watch a short video clip ending impunity for justice in Cambodia by Her Excellency Mosakur.
តើយុត្តិធម៌ឬនីតិរដ្ឋភាព
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivitir, a very famous trade union leader, Piset Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Kemlay, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Son Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Thank Welcome back, and please support our petition at change.org. As of this morning, I take a look. It was over 30,000 signature already gathered. Thank you for those who signed, and also please help to share the petitions. We need many more signatures. So please help to share and promote at change.org, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Thank you. Let me, before I start, let me greet my Cambodian audience and viewer. នាងខ្ញុំឈ្មោះ Linda U សូមស្វាគមន៍និងសូមជម្រាបសួរបងប្អូនជនរួមជាតិទាំងអស់នាងខ្ញុំសូមអរគុណចំពោះការតាមដានទស្សនាកម្មវិធីថ្ងៃនេះសំឡេងយុវជនខ្មែរដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌ជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសជាកម្មវិធីរបស់ CNRP America នាងខ្ញុំចង់បញ្ជាក់ថាកម្មវិធីថ្ងៃនេះនឹងជារៀងរាល់ថ្ងៃពុធគឺជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាសូមអភ័យទោសដែលមិនបាននិយាយភាសាខ្មែរថ្ងៃនេះយើងនិយាយភាសាអង់គ្លេសដើម្បីឲ្យយុវជនជំនាន់ក្រោយនិងជនបរទេសបានយល់ដឹងពីបញ្ហានៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាចា៎ក៏ប៉ុន្តែសូមរងចាំតាមដានកម្មវិធីរបស់ CNRP America 6ថ្ងៃដែលនិយាយជាភាសាខ្មែរចាពីថ្ងៃពុធដល់ថ្ងៃច័ន្ទនៅម៉ោងដដែលជាភាសាខ្មែរចាសូមអរគុណ Thank you and welcome. It is my pleasure to welcome my two guests to the show tonight. Let's bring them in one at a time. My first guest is Miss Susie Inchun. She is the Vice President of CNRP Women Affairs. Welcome, and welcome, Bong Susie. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for inviting me to be on your show. Can I say a little bit in Khmer so I can
please.
welcome our viewers? Name chom Susie Chun. Som okun premat de tusana seling yubchun nambai yutho cha. Name chom jidanang teka satrai na krong saro America opachran bo.
Our second guest, his name is Mr. Ricky. He is the Secretary General of CNRPA. Mr. Ricky, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about yourself and Susie?
I'm good.
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking.
Good to see you again.
Mong Susie, how is the COVID-19 in Massachusetts?
It's actually doing a lot better. The last week, it has gone down a little bit, but not tremendously. Now that in our city of Lo, I just want to let our viewers know that if they live near the city of Lo, this Thursday, the EMTs, they will do a free COVID testing in the city of Lo, right in Kali Stadium. If our viewers in Lo, they can go in and do it for free. It's the best way to take preventative action so we don't spread the COVID-19 to our loved ones. So we've been doing very well. We're trying to keep, it's very important that all our friends and viewers make sure that they have their mask on and washes their hands very frequently.
Mr. Ricky, we live in California. We cannot say the same, right?
Yeah, it's spreading. It's not, the line is not flat, it's going up. So because a couple of things could happen. Number one, people still did not follow the governor's direction or directives or order. They still celebrate without being careful, washing their hand or put a mask on. Number two, they are going unnecessary wherever they need to go. It just that's what make this pandemic worse now. Many, we are running our best. More than 600,000 patients right now in the whole United States, and California is among one of those high states. I'm surprised that hopefully they will have the vaccine coming up very soon to stop the spread.
I read yesterday that the California governor, I think, secured, either 400,000 doses for California, and it said it's coming out in December, but I'm not sure. at December 1st, so I'm not sure the exact date the vaccine going to be distributed, or but he said he secured, like, California secured a certain number of doses already. So that a sign of, hope. We hope that it's gonna go flat and go down. I guess that's what we want. Okay, before I start our topic, I would like to read a statement from a CNRP press release yesterday. It's going to be in English. Both guests are welcome with inputs and comments after I'm done. Okay, so the Cambodian National Rescue Party, CNRP, Permanent Committee, Parliamentary Group, and its overseas chapters met on November 27, 28, 29 to discuss and assess the current political situation in Cambodia. The meeting unanimously agreed and decided as follows. The CNRP leadership and activists who are currently living in exile and summoned by the Phnom Penh Municipal Court for a trial related to plotting and incitement charges will return to Cambodia. CNRP President Musakur will lead the return of the CNRP leadership and activists to Cambodia on January 4, 2021.
Mr. Ricky, I think you can elaborate on that.
Would you like to elaborate, or do we just that's the announcement, or do we want to say anything?
I don't want to elaborate that much. Let the letters statement speak for itself. It's clear.
Yes.
Unanimously agreed to after the 3-day meeting. So MP Musakur, the Vice President of CNRP, will lead the delegates to Cambodia, our motherland, on January 4th, so 2021, because she, among the other leaders, was summoned by the court on November 3rd of this year, 2020, and now, even though the court say the court summoned them, but the Phnom Penh regime, I don't want to call it government because this is not legitimate. Phnom Penh regime already rejected. If I look at the news this morning from one of the popular newspapers saying that, yes, Sok Aisan, the spokesperson for the regime, said that even though the court summoned them, but the leaders, CNRP leaders, are not welcome to Cambodia, and if they still go, they will be dealt with the law. I don't know what that is. He fell short to say what action he will take, whether he's going to prevent the delegate from going in to Cambodia or do something else. There's no clear message. Maybe between now and January 4th, something else maybe unfold, and then we will study as it progress. But at this point, even Mr. Sok Aisan will not deter our determinations to go. We'll be going.
Thank you. Yes, and the date is January 4th, 2021, and that's leading by Her Excellency Musakur. That's the press statement this morning. Okay. Let us go into our topic for tonight. The topic is justice is an intrinsic element of peace. Basically, let me kind of translate on what peace is. Peace is not about wars. Peace about a sense of it means a lack of conflicts and freedom from fear and violence. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about peace. The Cambodian in Cambodia really experience peace or not. So that's what our topic is. One of the main issue, or not main issues, every Friday, let brought up the Friday woman. Let's talk and let's read and let's understand do they really have peace in Cambodia or not? Since June 19, 2020, so this is, last week is the 24th week. So this Friday will be the 25th straight week. We call them Friday Women. Basically, it's a group of women from different provinces come to Cambodia capital, which is Phnom Penh, and they held a small but spirit protest every Friday demanding the release of their husband. Where their husband has been detained in prison. So this Friday woman appealed to the court to have their husband released from jail. Their husband and basically woman, I mean a wife and a daughter, their husband and father was arrested and accused of treason and incitement by the government, which is the regime, and could face to 15 to 20 years in jail. Every Friday, the woman met with harassment and many times got beaten by the police for holding up signs requesting their husband to be released. I actually have a picture. I believe I have a picture here of one of the situations. So this is going on every Friday. When they go protest, the police are in front of them taking their picture. So on and on. So this Friday is going to be that 25th week. Miss Susie, since you are a woman, how do you feel when you see that picture of a mom or a daughter being dragged in front of the court many times, basically every single week? How do you feel about that?
Before I add on to that, I would like to commend the Friday women that they continue to stand forth and with a courageous stance, standing every Friday, even though they know the outcome of what's going to happen to them, they stood there and they stand by their husband, their significant others, in order to stand up for the right reason. And when I see that image, when these men, these are law enforcement where they're supposed to protect the people. One person is being dragged or being lifted by how many men? And that in America, we do not stand for that. The American system, normally you would read them their rights, and also you would never drag them like that. That is just very inhumane. And it's very disheartening knowing myself that as a woman, seeing this happening to our own people, our own gender, it really affects me wholeheartedly, because this is something that we all can help stand for them. And I commend them for continuing this for 25 weeks since June until November. We have to realize they have struggled, meaning money-wise. They emotionally and physically, they've been through all these hardships, and seeing it like this, it's a time for all, not just women, but youth and all generations should stand up and see this is an image where we cannot stand for. Like our mom, we want to see our mom being dragged like this, and this is something that, again, we all have to stand for. Thank you.
And in definition, is that peace, Miss Susie?
That is not peace, because the reason why I said that it's not peace is because, first of all, they're using physical force on one person. Okay, how is it peaceful? You're supposed to, technically you detain them with handcuff. You don't drag them like that unless that person is doing physical harm, unless they have a weapon, unless they're threatening to either kill the police officers or the general public. But she has no weapon, and this is not peace. She's going in there looking like someone like you and I, an average person. So this is not peace. If you're using physical force on someone who do not have a weapon, we do not call that peace at all.
This is from ABC's News Australia. They actually interview one of the wife. Her name is Sokbolima. So this is her statement. She says she lost everything since her husband arrested. At this is her word. At this stage, I lost everything. I lost my job. My husband is in jail. She said, I have nothing left. I lost my property. Now I must fight until I die in front of the court until my husband is released. So she's out there. She's basically lost a job. When somebody arrests, basically in Cambodia, a husband or a father, that is the source of income. He go to work every day to support his family. So when someone like a father got arrested, that means one major income is lost. As a result, the wife and the kid has no support. Even though in America, many households have two income, work by two income doesn't mean like one person not there, the other person gonna support the household. It just half of the income no longer available. So you just need to cut it, being really tight with money. But this is in Cambodia, men are a major, they are the head, the house, what do they call, the head of household. Yeah, so they support the wife, they support children, they support their mom, their in-law. So when someone, the father go to jail, I mean, it's affected the whole family. The whole family cannot eat. The whole family, basically now that he's in jail, the stigma is that you know, people probably don't want to talk to them anymore. So she come out and give an interview, like she lost everything. She lost her job, and there's nothing she can do besides out there and ask the court to release her husband.
May I interject into that with that saying is that her husband here in America as well, typically known in our society is that men are the breadwinner, and she's losing basically her spouse, her breadwinner, the father of her children, and now she has nothing to lose. What else is she there besides? If she already lost someone that she's very, very near and dear to her, now she have nothing to lose. So basically, if you don't stand up now, when are you going to stand up? Because they already took someone that's very significant in her life and her children's lives. So this is something that we all need to look up to and say, look, this is a good example as to what is peace. Peace is really that by dragging a woman. Peace is by taking someone else's family who basically they have not been found guilty. Basically, the majority of these activists or the husband of the activists are summoned to court, and they were not released on what it is that they are trialed for or what it is that they are guilty of. So it's up to the words of the current government or the regime.
Yeah, and it's been over almost 6 months now, and nothing is moving because of COVID-19. Mr. Ricky, would you like to give your input how regarding the Friday Woman?
Yeah, I have a lot to add to that. First of all, let me start with the statement that we all focus on tonight's topic of discussion is in what is that? Justice, intrinsic, or is the source for peace. If there is no justice, there is no peace. And you can see that people in Cambodia, in general, I'm talking about every citizens that live in Cambodia, do they live peacefully or not? The answer is no. Why? Number one, it's the fact that the regime doesn't respect the constitution. There's no rule of law in Cambodia, period. The rule of lips. Whatever the leaders say, that's the law. That's becoming the law. And it is why there is no justice. When there's no justice, there is no peace, like a domino effect. Article 37, let me make it clear for Friday Women. They're practicing their own rights. Article 37 say the right to strike and to organize peaceful demonstrations shall be exercised within the framework of law. So it's guaranteed under the Constitution. All those women do every Friday was to hold up the sign, please release my husband, please release my husband, without just demanding to her husband to be released. Her husbands who were jailed without due process, which just the accusation, because according to the law in the United States, we know that they are innocent till proven guilty. At this point, the accusation was to conspire of treason and cause incitement. Who inspired the treason? That is a felony, period. That's a felony. And just because somebody else did not like because of the political situation that those people are in, they were all accused of treason. And there's no justice. And that is why we don't say there's no peace at all. So the woman practices, the woman practice the law, follow the law peacefully on the street. No one should be dragging them like we see in the picture. That picture is so painful. One woman was dragged by so many soldiers, at least 4 or 5 of them, and drag it to where? Dump it into a dump truck or a car or what?
Throw them in the ground.
Yeah, into the ground, slam it into the ground. And let me read another article of the Constitution about the police. Article 38, the Constitution says, the law forbid any physical abuse against any individual, especially the Khmer citizens here that the law referred to. This is under the Constitution 38, Article 38. Also under Article 38 say the prosecution, the law protect the life, the honor, and the dignity of the citizens. See, it's protected, protecting the people. The people are just practicing the exercise, the freedom to peaceful protest. So those police officer or the regime who ordered those police to drag those women, Friday women, slam it or dump them or her into the ground, are abusing the law, abusing the human rights. They are actually not, they themselves should be brought to justice, not those protesters at all. We need to reverse that mentality. So my people need to understand this is very, very wrong. And we can say, is that the peace you want to live in? Is that a kind of peace that Hun Sen is talking about? Thank you, peace. There's no peace. Why? Because there's no justice. Why there's no justice? Because the regime does not obey the Constitution, which protect the right to exist of all citizens, to honor, to strike, to peacefully demonstrate. So to me, it is very, very wrong, and people need to participate. People need to exercise their right, not to be afraid of those illegal police who abuse them or you can say violates the Constitution of Cambodia.
And the constitutions, we have the freedom of expressions. We are allowed to be peaceful assembly and association. So that's what our constitutions allow us to do. And that's what the Friday women, they have been doing it every single Friday, rain or shine. And like Bong Susie said, we are with them. They are out there every Friday, wanting their husband to be released. There's a famous word in America. It's by Dr. King. He is the civil rights leader. He said, without justice, the thinking goal. Peace will only be an elusive goal. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Do you agree, Bong Susie?
Yes, because with our what I like to explain this is that, like Mr. Rikia just mentioned, justice and peace, they intertwine. If there's no justice, there's no peace. So if you look at it in Cambodia right now, it's good that Mr. Rikia brought up the Constitution, because if we look at how our people in Cambodia are living right now, is that, again, Lo Kun San said that, thank you, peace, thank you, Santapip. But Santapip also include peaceful rally, also with the there's no source of healthcare to our people. That's the one thing that not just it has to do with the law, but also how our people are living right now. Our people are living in poverty. You know, there's no health care for them. And there's a lot of them are living in such a poor development where there's no food for them. And how are we calling this peaceful? And our kids, there is no education for them. And the sad part for me, working in the education system, seeing our kids in Cambodia do not get to go to school. They don't have the privilege to go to school. That is part of, teaching our kids how to be peaceful, how to behave peacefully. If they want to see peace in the civilized world, then these things have to be implemented. And again, justice and peace go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other, because if you have justice, then that peace comes in very smoothly the way it should be. So that's the one thing I want to emphasize to our viewers to know, and especially in Cambodia, is that lack of education is the main key point where we can build our country to become a peaceful country. But at this moment, because education is so lack of, we need to really implement that and make sure that all of us here have the voice. Let's do it for them. Let's speak up from and bring that peace to Cambodia. Bring a piece of what we have to Cambodia and have people more well aware of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bong. Would you like to add anything, Look Ricky, before I move on to our second example of this injustice happening in Cambodia?
What Dr. King said, the last quote that you had, injustice anywhere is a justice. I mean, it's a threat to justice everywhere. That is true. In Cambodia, there's injustice everywhere, from the top down to the bottom level of government. Corruption is the main cause of injustice, because people have to bribe the elected official or the leaders of the districts or the provinces to, or even the court themselves. They have to bribe to win the case. So is that justice when you are having people bribing you to work? Actually, those civil servants are supposed to work freely for the people, to serve free for the people, because they get paid every month from the people's money. But it's not so. It's not the case in Cambodia. Just the fact you have to bribe them. Either it depends on what degree you want them to do it for you, but there is no money. Don't even expect you to. They don't expect them to do anything for you. And also, one thing I want to tell the audience too, that right now people are facing land grabbing everywhere. Is that justice? You know, when the people's house being destroyed and their land were taken away from the family who couldn't even find enough meal for the day. They live by one meal a day. And is that justice when the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the rich got access to healthcare, like Susie mentioned earlier about the healthcare system? You know, the rich can fly to Singapore or to Vietnam to get the best treatment as they could, while the poor that couldn't even afford to go into the clinic, because whenever you are sick in Cambodia and you are taken to the clinic or to the hospital, the nurse or the doctor there will ask, do you have money? And the patient, if the patient say no, they will let you stay outside the hospital until you die. Another example of the woman who is pregnant or who was pregnant in different cases all over Cambodia, and it's time for them to give labor to the new babies. She didn't have enough money, or her husband could not afford. The woman end up having babies or end up dying on the street or by the hospital. This is very, very, to me, unjust to the citizen of Cambodia, to the Cambodian people, while the rich could do anything they would like, they want. So this is a corruptive system. Another example too. Look at the political system, and according to the Constitution, I want to say too much about the Constitution, but that's the law of the land we need to base on. That's the measure we have to focus on. This is not something about Hun Sen said. This is stated on the paper that were approved by the Paris Peace Accord since 1991, October 23rd, 1991. That's what the Constitution based on. And it says right here, all citizens have the right to participate actively in the political, this is Article 35, in the political, economic, and social cultural life of the nation. The people could choose any political party they want to join. Whether they choose CNRP, CPP, whatever, that's their right. They have the right to choose. So right now, what Hun Sen does is try to cover those people who support CNRP that Hun Sen dissolved back in on November 16 of 2017, couple of 3 years ago. So this is very sad that the people could not practice their right guarantee under the Constitution. Is that justice? I don't think so. You can say on and on. That's why I say injustice happens at every level of the government, and therefore there is no peace. So the peace that Hun Sen regime said, it's just a fake peace. It's not. There's no reality there.
Okay, we cover the Friday woman. We also cover the unequal access to education. Basically, the rich get richer, the rich get access to more better healthcare, better. Let's talk about impunity. The rich get away from the crime. The Hun Sen regime get away from the crime. Basically, the Hun Sen regime appearing to turn a blind eye to a physical assault against CNRP activists. And we never catch anybody. There's a camera, so clear, the person who committed the crime, but nobody ever, the city police, the law never get them. And also our CNRP have a campaign which is ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. This is what we are talking about. Make sure that every victim families get justice. Vong Susie, would you like to help to add the ending impunity?
Yes. Before I begin on how I feel about that is, so there's this campaign that we have online right now. It's called change.org. It's a very legitimate link where you can go and sign this online petition. It says, end impunity, justice for Cambodia. And there will be a description of what this online petition is about. And I'll give you a brief detail as to, and Mr. Rikia can elaborate more on it if I miss anything. But basically, we want to have as many online signatures as we can to bring justice for the victims that have been assassinated during the current government in Cambodia. So they're not even members of CNRP. They are just regular, average people like you and I, people who believe in fighting for justice, people who believe in just protecting our land, like Mr. Chivichia, Mr. Kamlai, who's just an independent political analysis. And also Bong Pisipilka, who's just a ballet dancer. And these people have no involvement in politics. All they're doing is standing up for just our land, our freedom, our basically like the Bong Pacifica is enrichment, just stuff like you and I might be an interesting hobby, But the fact of the matter that these people were murdered, and there are evidence stating that there are, I don't want to get into details, So what I would like for people to know is that this online petition is very important. We have collected over 30,000 signatures, but we need at least 500,000 signatures. And I believe it does not have to be, you don't have to be a Cambodian, you don't have to be a Cambodian American, you can be anything at all. You can be Caucasian, you can be Hispanic, you can be African American, you can be Black American, anyone that believes in justice, anyone that do not support the violation of human rights in Cambodia. This is the perfect example as to standing up for the right reason. And end impunity, justice for Cambodia is just basically, we're trying to collect enough signatures to bring the assailants, the people that murdered these victims, and bringing them to justice. Because you know what, their family, the surviving husbands, the surviving wives, children, they are yearning for our support, where they want to bring justice for their deceased loved ones. And we all need your help. We need everyone on board to help fight for this. And we only, again, it's really sad to hear that we only collected 30,000 signatures as of today. So we need a lot more, and we all can do it if we put our heart and our mind to it. Thank you.
Mr. Ricky, would you like to chime in on that issue?
Well said, Susie, about how important the importance of ending the impunity for justice in Cambodia, and that's the key word is there, justice. You know, do we have justice in Cambodia? The answer is no. That's why we ask everyone to join. You know, you don't have to spend money on it. Maybe 10, 15 minutes, or 10, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. That's all. You can contribute to the cause for justice in Cambodia. Participate. You know, your friends, your relatives, American citizen, French, Australian, anyone can participate. Because we live in America, I think we got a little spoiled here, because we see anyone who commit a crime will not be guilty until proven by the law. But over there, the word is back killing, state back killing. The keyword is state back killing. Who did that? The government ordered the murdering of those people. And that's not, those are just a few that mentioned. But, you know, recently we have Rong Chun's nephew who got crashed or killed in traffic accident. And they use that as a weapon. They use traffic as a weapon to kill. And then they say, oh, okay, the guy died because of the traffic accident. And then we have the activist, our activist son who lived in Svay Rieng a couple of weeks ago, got killed too, because the father's in jail, and the son who tried to ask the release of the father along with the mom went to Phnom Penh court at least maybe I would say maybe 6-7 times, but then he got killed also in Svay Rieng in the traffic accident. And these are all intentional, and this is very unjust. And over here they would do the investigation thoroughly, but they're in their investigation for short, because the boys were related to the boys, which is Rong Chun's relative too, were related to CNRP. So they failed to do the independent investigation. And that's why we need to end impunity, talking about the people who committed a crime and escaped legally. They live freely too. And those people that commit a crime should go to jail, but then the victim went to jail or live in exile. That is ridiculous. You're talking about peace. And those people not just live freely, those murderers, they live freely, and they got paid, and they got promoted. They got promoted to become, to be a high-ranking official. And that is, to me, I don't know, I'm speechless. That is why people need to participate, need to not be afraid. Is that how you want your next generation, the children of your grandchildren want to live, or you want to change it? If you want to change it, act now by participating in ending impunity for justice in Cambodia, or join the Women Friday Women to demand the release of those people who were jailed, those men who were jailed, and not just men, but girls too, like Dara and a few other ladies who got jailed because they were protecting the land or the forestry in Hong Kong or sea. Mom Sambo and other girls, another girl too. So there's so many of them that were unjustly jailed, and that is very, very sad. I don't understand, but look at what Hun Sen did. None of the murderer go to jail. They live freely, and our activists while our activists live in jail. And these are the people that just try to protect the land for the people, to protect the forestry, to also demand for justice, demand the government to obey the constitution, to for the citizen to live peacefully. But they didn't do it. They just try to shut them up and to bring those people to justice. That's very important. That's why again and again I cannot emphasize enough. 30,000 today, but we want 500,000. The more you participate, the more the faster or the sooner that you will find Cambodia in peace, not the fake peace that we're trying to create right now.
May I piggyback on what you said about the how people are afraid? There are two aspects to that. One, when our team go around collecting our people to help sign the petition, our Cambodian friends, they are afraid to sign this online petition because they're afraid that it might come back and I guess nip them in the bud. So basically they're trying to say that this might be connected to, if they were to travel to Cambodia, something might happen to them. That's what I want to emphasize on everyone. I want them to understand that this online petition will not affect you in any way. Why I say that, with the link, I'm pretty sure maybe at the end of the show or something, we'll put the link online for you guys to go and sign the petition if you have not signed the petition. There's a little spot where you, after you sign the petition, you can click, and you don't want people to see your name, or you don't want people to see your email address. You can click that check part, then people will not see that. So that you can rest assured that if you're worried or concerned that your name is out there, there are a spot where you can check and people will not connect you to your email or connect you to your name. So that's one thing I want to let people know. And also in Cambodia as well. And this is your moment, and this is your time to actually be the change you wish to see. This is the best quote that I learned from Mahatma Gandhi, is you want to see the change, you got to be the change. You cannot just sit back and lay back and expect us from outside of Cambodia to do the work. You in Cambodia have to also be part of this. You have to reach out to people. And this is a very easy step. It's all online. You don't have to contact anyone, and it's very easy. It takes no more than 1 minute. And I promise you that it's very easy. If you need help, we will send out some more information where you can contact any one of us who can actually help you sign this online petition as well. Thank you.
And you can sign it anonymously. So if you are in Cambodia, if you don't do anything at all, just help and sign the petitions. That also help with the cause of calling out the injustice. We want justice for what Mr. Rodriguez said, state-backed killing, which is done by the government. So if you don't do anything at all, please just sign the petition. It's like less than 1 minute. We all signed it already.
And let me want to add one more thing about this. You know, when I look at Dr. Kamlei's quote, he had a whole bunch of quotes. He had 2 books of him in quotation and writing. But I just take 1 or 2 because Kamlei was killed by the government in 2016. So he said, "ពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរត្រូវតែហ៊ានងើបឈរឡើង Khmer citizen must be brave to stand up for your own rights. And thenយើងនៅតែខ្លាចគេនៅតែជិះជាន់យើង If we are afraid, they will step on us. So what does he say? And he's trying to say that don't be afraid. These people in Cambodia, I think over close to 5,000 now. In Cambodia, they signed the petition. It's not just from overseas. The people in Cambodia signed a petition, and the people outside who live freely are afraid to go back to Cambodia. Come on. And look at American friends. I asked my neighbors, please sign the petition. They said, yeah, come on, give it to me. I will do it. I'm my daughter and my friends will sign it for you. And the teacher, the co-worker who I work with, yes, text that to me. And she did. So please, come on, don't use that as an excuse. If I think people probably misunderstood like Susie said, mentioned, people do not understand clearly, so they tend to be afraid. If you are, please consult or talk to the CNRP activists in your city or in your state. They will clarify for you, or call us, CNRP America, or call me, 209-872-1550. I will help you. And I'm not trying to send you to jail. Look at MP Musabhur. She's going to go on January 4th of next year in the statement. She's not afraid. Why does she do that? Think about her bravery, not for herself. She doesn't want to be the heroine to be honored, by the people in the world. She just want Cambodia to be liberated, for the Cambodian to live freely, for the real democracy in Cambodia. So we honor your participation, because your participation is very important for this cause, the good cause for our people, for our country. So please join. This is not like dangerous at all, because you live over here. The people in Cambodia signed it already, and they're not afraid. They might be afraid, but there is a way. Like Susie said, those 2 boxes you don't have to check. Just leave it blank and then submit it. And you don't have to donate anything. Just click. And then I don't know. There's certain boxes in there at the bottom, but go to the bottom and click skip, and then log out. You will see that your name in one of those people, among those people, the 30,000 people. So you participate in helping bringing justice to Cambodia by doing so.
Thank you, Mr. Rithyvong. Ending impurity for justice in Cambodia at change.org is one of the solution that we can help to turn the injustice around to justice. Now we have talked about the issue that the Hun Sen regime created, and without any solutions, or turn the blind eye toward the solutions. So there's absolutely no peace at all for Friday Woman. There's absolutely no peace at all for the victim's family. From our experience in America, how should people in Cambodia overcome injustice? We already talked about signing the petitions. What are the methods that we can say or can give an input? How do people in Cambodia overcome injustice? Long Susie, would you like to start on that one?
Sure. So here in America, we all know Dr. Martin Luther King as a well-known civil rights activist. So in order for us here to sit in our comfortable home in America, being a minority, Dr. Martin Luther King have organized this peaceful march for over years and years until we all here have our rights as minorities. So in Cambodia, in order for them to actually have the peace that they are yearning for, or the justice that they are trying to advocate for, people have to actually stand up and fight for it. I understand it's easier said than done, But in order for them to get that is we all have to stand up. And again, Friday Women is a prime example. They did it peacefully. They're practicing their rights. And you know what? They know the outcome. They know what's going to happen to them, but they do it anyways, because you know what? It takes that little step, that baby step to actually overcome this. And they're walking towards the right path. And I don't want to use gender as the key, but gender also play a role as to why women are less susceptible to get, I guess, harsher punishment in Cambodia right now. But the more we stand up, especially, I would like to see more youth. They're the one who have the most energy. They're the one who have the most, I guess, enthusiasm inside of them, where they can actually stand up. Here's an example also from Dr. Martin Luther King fighting for civil rights and our Friday Women. But one thing that I've learned a couple of years ago when I went to Korea is that in order for South Korea actually, to have their democracy right now, is youth, they actually stood up and they actually fought against their government for them to have democracy. So Cambodia right now, we rely on women, gender, youth, to stand up and fight for this. I know older generation, they have the PTSD, where they're afraid because of what happened during the Khmer Rouge regime. But we rely on now women. They have the most strong-minded and very flexible. They're able to go along with what the situation may be. And that's the one thing that I want to emphasize is youth and women are the key players as to standing up and fighting for justice. It's not easy. It doesn't take a day or two. It takes years for people to actually get to see the results. So this is something that it needs our support. People in Cambodia need our support. However, we're going to work together with them. We're going to walk along with them in order to fight for justice and true democracy and true peace in Cambodia.
I want to add one thing to, regarding democracy and justice and peace. In order for us to live in peace, we have to have justice. Of course, we heard enough about it tonight, but we also want to bring democracy into discussion as well, into this topic, because democracy is the base of human rights. And Patrick Henry, who was the governor of Virginia back during the American Revolution, said that give me freedoms or give me death, when they were fighting against the British rule, King George III at the time. So as what he said was that, he'd rather die instead of living under the rule of the colony of England, or English colony. They have no freedom, just like right now. In Kampuchea Crown, in Cambodia, rule under one man who is in power since 1985. But listen to the recent statement by Kamala Harris, the Vice President-elect of the United States. You know what she said? She said, democracy is not free. We have to fight for it. That's her statement when she made the first speech. We have to fight for it. So if America fight for it, and who has been in power or has been here since 1776, become independent, so 154 years already. So now, even America, we have to work for democracy, for real democracy. When even those we enjoy democracy and human rights, but Cambodia is incomparable to America. So the people in Cambodia, please keep in mind that working together we will achieve the common goals. We all live in peace already. This is real peace in America, but we don't want to see all of you are crying for help or suffer unjustly by the government every day, just to hold a sign. You got jailed for it, just to make this free speech, guarantee under the Constitution, you got blamed for it. You got threatened, intimidated by the police, by the state officials. Ridiculous. Come on. This is Cambodia, who are, Cambodians who want the freedoms, and they cannot live freely when their lives are in danger. It's not just their life, but the children and grandchildren's life too. Who knows in the future? So please stop the tyranny, stop dictatorship right here by joining hands in hands, and then we will make the difference. We will make our dream come true. Democracy, I believe, will happen one day, and it's very soon, in 2021, when our leaders repatriate to Cambodia, not to threaten Hun Sen regime, but to find peace for the people. To say, hey, the court summoned us, now we go. And it's our motherland. We have the right. Our right is guaranteed under the Constitution. So let's join hands in hands and be ready for change.
Yes. Last week, at the courthouse of the over 120, the court summoned over 120 CNRP activists. According to the news, there are over 122, but there are over 300 people show up to support the people that being summoned. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign that we need to stand up, we need to speak up, and we need to stand together. And we would like to see bigger crowd each week. Tell the Hun Sen regime, you're not afraid. Also, I was talking to Susie earlier. The impact to the regime is at their pocketbook. We need to educate our youth. We need to educate our people. What's our rights? Cambodian able to protest. It's guaranteed by the Constitution. And also, we need to also hurt the regime in their pocketbook. We have the power on buying product in Cambodia. Would you like to elaborate on that a little bit, Susie, on the power to purchase item?
Yes. So one thing about I honestly, for me, a lot of the products that are being imported to America are made from China. So I try my best to boycott any merchandise that I believe that are made from China. So in order to dip into their pocket, in order to do economic damage to the countries that are, again, being invasive, they're the one that's intruding into Cambodia, is that, try not to purchase their merchandise. For example, like importing anything that is imported from China or Vietnam, I would try to boycott that, because you know what? The more you buy their products, the more that you're feeding back into their pocket. So why not? Why not take care of our own? We have a lot of resources in Cambodia. There are a lot of handmade products. There's a lot of fruits and vegetables. Our country is very abundant in the livestock, in vegetations. But the problem is we don't use that resource. We rather have it imported from other countries. And that's where the pocket is. That's where the economic and the financial stability is feeding. It's feeding the countries that's importing their products. Why not use the resources that we have right now and boycott? When I want to clarify on the word boycott is stop using or stop buying the product that are doing damage to our country. Cambodia is our country. Why not embrace what we have? Why not embrace the natural resources that we already have in our country? Why bring other products in when we already have it already? So that's what I wanted. That's to damage their financial aspect. So for us, it's just, feed into our country, not feed into their piggy bank.
Yes, and we actually support the regime by buying it. So, sign our petitions, being educated about your rights to protest, your right to a peaceful assembly. Also, the little money that we make, we need to, people in Cambodia need to understand where the product coming from. The Hun Sen regime family own most of the product. Don't go to the coffee shop that supported them. You basically taking your money, give it to them, and they, as a result, hit you back with that. Go to the mom and pop store and drink coffee over there. Buy the product from the farm. Don't economically don't support them, because they the one bring back. They the one have energy after they got your money. They have your energy. They hit you back. That's one of the action from me is to overcome injustice, to tell them I'm not. You need to give me equal right as well.
And that's what Gandhi did in the 1948. During the Indian Revolution against the British colony in India. But actually, a couple of years before that, because 1948 when he got assassinated. So what he did was he boycotted the teas and the clothing made by England. So he asked, and even salt. We walked 100 miles to get salt from the sea. He taught the Indian people to make salt themselves, to make clothes, to make teas. If you think about the regime that I lived through, there's in the 60s, in the 70s, we didn't have all of these materialistic society. There's no competition in makeup, in clothing. We live peacefully. All we did was growing rice, get the fish from the pond, get the salt from the market, maybe, and then start growing our own vegetable and growing our own fruits. And we ate for the whole family, support the whole family for the whole year. And only my father worked. My mom stayed home to watch the kids. And while the kids, I went to school. I attended the school at the temple, and we live peacefully. We don't have to worry about paying the loan or the debt to anyone. We don't have to worry about the chemical that could get in our to meat, our vegetable. Like right now, they have chemicals into the meat, into the vegetation everywhere, even rice too. We grew rice back then. We used the fertilizer from Mother Nature, the leaves that got decomposed from the rainforest, and then during the rainy season, the water supply to all farmlands, and we just don't use the artificial fertilizers. That's all organic, made by nature. Let's start doing that. I mean, a little too late now because people have the mentality already, but it's not too late to change.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
So ask yourself, do you want to live with all kinds of disease, or you want to live free of disease? I mean, ideally, that's what we want to live. We want to live in a society that is free of disease. We don't have to spend money, lots of money treating our body when we get older. So people can boycott those products, like Susie mentioned already, or Linda mentioned already, but I don't want to go back to that, and it's just a waste of time. But start thinking about eating healthy food, eating your own grown food in your backyard, in the rice field, and you will live a longer life. That way, you're not just you, but your family, because your family is important to you. Once they are happy, you are happy too. And the whole community will be happy, and it will cause the whole nation to be happy as well.
Before I end the show, I want to read a famous quote. It hang on my high school, and it's at the library. So everybody who go to the library can see this. And the quote is say, "Right is right, even though no one is doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it." So please know your right from what is right, what is wrong. Please speak up for injustice, even though you and your family not at the receiving end. We need more people, especially youth, involved in Cambodia due to injustice. And today we see injustice. If we don't speak up, tomorrow or later, it's going to be on us, because we never speak up in the first place. So we need people to speak up, stand up, and be together.
And that's what Dr. Gechlang said earlier. I read his quote. You know, sooner or later it's going to be coming to you. If you don't do it now, maybe don't wait until it's too late. So
Yes.
act now is better than later. So yes, it's an injustice anywhere. It's a threat to justice everywhere. And sometimes, you know, what is right is not always popular, but what is popular is not always right. So you got to act. Don't care about the people say to you, but do what is right for you, and what is right for your country, for your people, for yourself, and for your own children, and especially for our future generation.
And if it means standing up alone, you got to stand up alone in order to fight for the democracy and the right reason.
Right.
Thank you both guests. Do you have anything to add, or anything anymore, or does our message and our quote today seem to be enough to, like, please stand up, please know your rights, learn about what your rights. We've been telling everybody, you have the right to protest, go protest, peaceful assembly. When you see something that's not right, speak up. When you see an injustice, make sure you speak up. That's the only way to call out, to call that and say that is not correct, and help everybody out.
And just remember the 5-finger rules. I just want people to understand. It's called RAPS, RAPPS. Religion, freedom of religion, you have the rights to do it. Okay. Freedom of assembly is guaranteed under the Constitution. You have the right to do it. Freedom of petition. You have the right to do it. Freedom of press. Come on. Freedom of speech. Let's do it. If those police say, "Hey, you act against the law," well, what law? What kind of law? We have the right to walk around and hold the sign. We don't hurt anybody. You were the one that stopped me from exercising my right guarantee under the Constitution. You have no way of saying it. So be brave, get out there, get your voice heard to make the change. And it depends on everyone's participation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both guests for being here today.
Thank you.
You guys are very busy, but you've been here today, and thank you for your valuable input and to clarify the current situation in Cambodia. And we could not say enough. Please stop standing up, be together. That's the only way. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all the guests for tuning in today for our discussion, and thank you to our viewer who's still here. Please, the message tonight is please stand up, please speak up for injustice. Like the quote said, without justice, it's Dr. King said, without justice, the thinking goal, peace will only be an illusion's goal. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Please think about that. Also speak up. Also the Friday woman who's also fighting, who also stand there, rain or shine, please support them. And if you don't do anything at all, if you don't do anything, absolutely nothing, you just stay home, please help to sign our petitions, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia.